The international community should not condemn the consequences, rather, it should look at the causes. Those are the words of the Guinea president of transition, Mamadou Doumbouya.
My country continues to place hope in the United Nations to find appropriate solutions to the issues our world continues to face. In this context, Mr. President, we believe that the fundamentals which underpinned the creation of our organization must adapt to the profound changes in our society. The theme of this session, peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability, is topical, evocative, and deserves particular attention on our part. There is a coup epidemic in Africa. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, the continent has been hit by an epidemic of military putsches, particularly in the French-speaking countries south of the Sahara. Everyone condemns them, sanctions them, is disturbed by the sudden resurgence of this phenomenon that we had thought was a thing of the past, and rightly so. But what I wish to say is that the international community must have the honesty and the rectitude to not content itself simply with denouncing the consequences. Rather, it must look to and address the causes. Coups d'etat have multiplied in Africa in recent years because there are deep-rooted reasons for this. And to remedy the problem, ladies and gentlemen, we must look at these root causes. The putschist is not only the person who takes up arms to overthrow a regime. I want us all to be well aware of the fact that the real putschists, the most numerous, and those who avoid any condemnation, are also those who plot and scheme, who use trickery, who cheat to manipulate the text of the Constitution in order to stay in power eternally. It is those in white-collar jobs who change the rules of the game as the game unfolds in order to keep the reins of power in their hands. These are the most numerous kinds of putschists. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I am one of those who one day decided to shoulder our responsibility to prevent our country from slipping into complete chaos, into an insurrection. No political forces at the time had the courage nor the means to put an end to the duplicity that we were experiencing, as they were all completely neutralized back then. The institutional correction for which my brothers in arms and I took responsibility on September 5th, 2021, was only a consequence of that chaotic situation which had ended up tearing apart the social fabric of my country and undermining our coexistence. This is not an exhaustive list, but we believe that the transitions underway in Africa are due to several factors, including broken promises, the lethargy of the people, and leaders tampering with constitutions with the sole concern of remaining in power to the detriment of collective well-being. Today, the African people are more awake than ever and more than ever determined to take their destiny into their own hands. The unequal distribution of wealth creates endless inequalities, famine, and abject poverty, which make the daily lives of our populations increasingly difficult. These inequalities are part of the causes for the events that endanger our peaceful coexistence above all. When the wealth of a country is in the hands of an elite, while newborns die in hospitals due to a lack of incubators, it is not surprising that in such conditions we are seeing transitions in order to respond to the profound aspirations of the people.
Root causes of the coups.
Root causes of the coups. He was talking about the coups happening in West Africa and telling the international community, rather than condemning these coups and the people and placing sanctions on them, look at the root causes of this. Then he explains why all this is happening in our African countries.
I also liked what he said about the perpetrators of these coups. The people who are in the wrong are not only the people who take matters into their own hands, but it's also the perpetrators who change the rules of the game as the game proceeds, so that it favors them. Yes, we have seen the puppets doing that over time, and people take matters into their own hands. And when that happens, the UN condemns the people for doing that.
The people for doing that. But it's only that the people are tired. They are tired of the inequalities. They are tired of only a few owning wealth, while the majority are languishing in poverty. And he's talking about children dying in hospitals because there are no incubators, while some or the few minority are keeping all the wealth.
Guys, you have heard it from the man himself. And what a time to be alive, to witness such boldness.
Actually,
fearless.
Guinea president was the most eloquent in this whole UN general meeting.
And we thank him for speaking the truth as it is, for not going around the bush. He went straight to it.
To the point.
So guys, please let us support our brothers and sisters in
West
the Sahel.
Africa, the Sahel, Guinea, BURKINAFASO, Mali, Niger. Also, let us know what you think about all this in the comment section. Let us know whether you support the coups and whether you are excited of the next coup in Africa.
Guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.